This video contains advertisement for Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform perfect for anyone looking to create a blog, website, or online store. Autumn is approaching and I'm so excited because it truly is my favorite season of all. I always describe it as it feels like a little part of me is coming home when we reach the fall season. And today I wanted to share some tips of what to pack and wear if you're going to a trip to Denmark or any other Scandinavian country this season. Now I've made a checklist of 20 items for 10 days which can be packed in one carry-on, but I will of course share some universal style tips so that you can pack whatever reflects your style best and also so that it fits the length of your trip. So the checklist is by no means meant as a you have to wear these exact clothes in Denmark, but it will of course reflect the more general style advice that I'll present to you throughout the video. This is probably also best suitable for a city trip to, for example, Copenhagen. So if you're going to the countryside, you might want to adjust and level up the amount of practical items that you bring instead. So without any further ado, here's what to pack for a trip to Denmark in fall. Now, one of the most important style factors for a lot of Danes is functionality. You'll notice that mixing your more stylish wardrobe staples with slightly more practical ones are what a lot of people tend to do here. After all, Copenhagen has more bicycles than cars, so it's really important that the clothes you wear allow you to move around freely. Scandinavian people are generally renowned for their casual way of dressing. So instead of adding practical clothes to your suitcase as a side note last minute, think about how you can incorporate them into your looks so that it all feels like a natural extension and so that you can still feel like your most stylish self. Items like flats rather than lots of heels, cool but comfy sneakers, a nice raincoat, an umbrella, and some layering pieces are essential for the autumn season in Denmark. Though our climate is not so extreme as, for example, Canada, where you both have the hot and humid summers and then the freezing cold winters, we do have all four seasons here. And I have to say, sometimes it almost feels as though you go through all four seasons in just one day. The weather can be really indecisive and change quickly within the hour, so being able to add or remove some layers is key. So I definitely advise both packing some lighter layers like a couple of basic t-shirts, maybe a t-shirt with long sleeves as well, and then also some heavier layers like knitted sweaters. Furthermore, you could opt for a water-resistant jacket, preferably one that covers your bum so that you're able to sit down without getting wet when you're out and about. And then as a slightly more stylish option, you could go for a trench coat and maybe a wool coat as your warmer option. I would also say that thermal underwear might also come in handy. Remember, it's always easier to remove a couple of layers if you get too hot during the day. So let's quickly go through the entire packing list before I show you how and when you could wear these pieces. So the packing list includes 2 pairs of straight leg jeans in dark colors, 1 pair of preferably wool wide leg trousers, 1 pair of sweatpants, 1 hoodie matching to the pants, great for traveling and for chill days, 1 raincoat, 1 wool coat, 1 trench coat, 1 blazer, 1 top or blouse, 1 classic shirt, 1 roll neck sweater, 1 crew neck sweater, 2 t-shirts, both great for layering, 1 long sleeve t-shirt or thin sweater, 1 pair of boots, 1 pair of sneakers, 1 pair of flats, and then 1 set of thermal undies. For accessories, which I kind of count as extras, I'd pack a crossbody bag, a shopper or backpack, hat, scarf and gloves, jewelry and belt, windproof travel umbrella, and then sunglasses. So when you're choosing what to pack for your trip, make sure that you picture all the events you're expecting on your trip. So you might have some full days with sightseeing, maybe a couple of nights out for drinks and dinner, and then you might have some more chill days in between with less walking. So either way, versatility is key. You want to pack the bare minimum so that you avoid an overflowing suitcase, because all that will do is just make you feel really overwhelmed by choices anyway. But at the same time, you want to ensure that you've packed enough for whatever events you're expecting, of course. So let's start with sightseeing. These will be your most active days, which will probably require lots of walking around, lots of spending time outside as well. So again, remember layering. If you're not wearing all of your layering pieces, then at least bring a couple with you so that you have the option to wear them if the weather starts acting up. If you don't have room in your crossbody bag, then consider bringing a canvas tote to carry these extra bits in. For these outfits, I'd especially stick with a pair of cool, comfy sneakers that you can walk around in all day, and then you can always dress them up with some nice accessories or a classic coat if it's not raining. So for the chill days, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm on a city break, I usually make room for days in between all the sightseeing where I'm not necessarily walking as much and generally spending less time outside on the go. So this could be visiting a good cafe for lunch, or maybe just hitting a few local vintage stores or similar. So these outfits are meant as inspiration for the days where you'll be walking less, and therefore we can kind of amp down the practical elements of the outfits just a little bit. If the weather allows it, you could also go out without a coat or jacket. This is where I definitely wear wool trousers and a chunky sweater though, and perhaps layer under your thermal undies. This of course depends on how close you get to winter. It might be too cold to do this when we reach November time. Now, the final outfits are meant as inspiration for going out for dinner or drinks. I don't really go out at this point in my life, so that's why you won't see a lot of like fancy dresses or high heels as part of my checklist. Rather, I'd focus on packing some versatile items that can be worn both for day and night, like the blazer and the flats, and then maybe bring one top or blouse that you can wear as a more fancy going out piece. I've also included a pair of boots with a low block heel here, and I feel like these could very much also work for both day and for night. And then it goes without saying that amping up your jewelry and accessories during the evenings will get you far too. For example, bring some statement earrings and a nice lip color. I also love my black bag from the Curated because it comes with a shorter strap, which makes it the perfect little evening bag, so I can kind of switch it up between day and nighttime. As I mentioned before, Danes and I think Scandinavians in general are renowned for their casual sense of style. I think a lot of people would say that the general quote-unquote timeless wardrobe staples like a blazer, straight leg jeans, a t-shirt, wide leg trousers, and a trench coat are typical staples you'll find in most Scandinavian women's closets. But actually these are staples for a lot of people in a lot of countries. And they could easily be confused with, for example, staples of a French-inspired wardrobe. So what makes the whole difference though is how these items are worn. Danes are all about those slightly exaggerated contrasts. Remember how I talked about practicality being a core part of Danish people's wardrobes and not just a side note? So Danes aren't afraid to mix their dressier items with functional ones, and so it's not uncommon to see people wearing a well-cut suit with a pair of chunky running shoes here, for example. When it comes to color, this of course varies depending on where in Denmark you are, while all of these style tips will of course vary depending on whether you're in Copenhagen or in the outskirts of the country, and also just like general style preference. But lots of Danish people prefer muted colors rather than super bright ones. Again, there are exceptions to that rule, which I'll get into in a moment, but neutrals really are dominating here. So think monochromatics like gray, black and white, but also earthy tones like beige and brown, which are the slightly softer versions of the monochromes. Having said that, I've definitely noticed a shift in Danish fashion over the years, and things aren't always as minimal as they perhaps once were. So adding a pop of color like a beanie, a pair of shoes, or just a bag is something people seem to really enjoy these days. And I think it's a fun way to break up with that stereotypical Scandinavian way of dressing. It doesn't have to all be neutral and colorless. If you were to ask me what the general dress code is here, I'd definitely say smart casual in a heartbeat. Again, those contrasts between practicality, coziness, and being well dressed is the norm here. So think no makeup looks, easygoing hairstyles like a simple low bun or maybe like a natural beachy wave, and then mixing elements from both the classic and the casual wardrobe. For example, a trench coat, a woolen sweater, a pair of white leg tailored trousers, and then a pair of chunky trainers. Timelessness is something Danes value quite a lot too, not only for fashion actually, but also when it comes to, for example, interior. While quote unquote investing in your wardrobe is kind of a myth due to the fact that clothes lose their value over time caused by wear and tear, changing trends and other factors, I do believe that buying clothes in general with a mindset of wanting to invest, if you will, in timeless classics that can potentially last through several generations is quite important to keep in mind. Quality above quantity is another way to put it, as well as, of course, versatility. Before we end this video, I want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I have been blogging since 2015 and I have loved every second of it. Thanks to my blog, Useless, I have been able to build the business of my dreams, and I couldn't be prouder of how far I've come. Now, if I were to start all over again with my own blog and my own website, I would have definitely checked out Squarespace. With Fluid Engine, which is a next generation website editor from Squarespace, you can easily unlock your creativity when you're building your site. So you get to customize every design conveniently and with a drag and drop technology for both desktop and mobile. With Squarespace AI, you can also generate personalized written content for your website, which makes getting started even easier. What you do is that you simply explain what your site is about, you choose your tone, and you enter what you need to get short or long form text. And if you're looking to create an online store, to sell a product or even a service, Squarespace has all the tools you need to start selling online. So if you've been looking for a sign to get started, then go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/useless to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So there you have it, guys, my best tips on what to wear and what to pack for a trip to Denmark during the autumn season. Again, remember to watch this all with an open mind. Not all Danes dress alike, and also remember to alter the checklist so that it fits your style and your trip. But either way, I really hope you enjoyed it and that you found it helpful in at least some way. Don't forget that I've made several videos in the past of things to do and see in Copenhagen. So in case you want to watch some of those, then I'll make sure to link those videos down below for you. Otherwise, make sure to give this video a thumbs up before you leave. Make sure that you subscribe. I would love to have you here. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon with another video. Bye, guys.